Welcome to Latitude the show. I'm your host, Prophet74, and today we're going to talk about digital art. Some of the stuff that you guys see in some of the channels, they love to draw these characters, anime and stuff like that, but you're looking for the right tool. I was a graphic designer and for quite a while, and I love art. So it's one of the things I wanted to bring up to you guys and help you guys out there. So today we're going to start here with the IOGEAR. It's an easy, inexpensive pen that you can find. AAA battery on this one, and we're going to put it to a test, of course. And it comes with its own cap too. Like I said, it has a cap too that you can just block it out, so you don't mess around with the pen itself. On and off button here, if you guys can see it. IOGEAR pen. And we're going to do testing with it. So take a look at it. See, let me know what you guys think after the test initialize. So it takes AAA battery. It's a little thicker than the other ones, but overall we're gonna see the quality of it, see how well it works. Now here we have our Surface Pen, and this is a newer Surface Pen. Of course, they had 3 or 4 different models of pen, but this is the latest one. This is probably one of the best things I like about it, that you can replace the tips to more sensitivity tips or other tips, or if you damage this one, it's easy to replace the tip, so it's not bad. The Surface Pen is probably one of my favorite ones too right here, and this one, I used it for quite a while. This is actually a newer model. It does require batteries. It has a quadruple A battery inside embedded. Best thing about it is the replacing of the tips. Simple to replace the tips. It has a button in here, and it has another button in the back. It could be used as an eraser in some applications. For regular OS, it works really well, especially on the Surface. I mean, this is made for a Surface. It has a magnetic embedded in the side of it, so you could just attach it to the Surface book, or the Surface Note, or the Surface 7, like we're going to do a test on. Great pen to have. Different multiple tips they sell. Microsoft sells multiple tips. They also have multiple tools for it along with it, so not bad. And you could do combinations with the tools that they have. This is a great pen overall, but it does require a battery, same like the IOGEAR. It requires a battery. IOGEAR AAA battery. Surface Pro pen, pretty much a quadruple A battery, and most of the times you can find those batteries at pharmacies, because they require those quadruple batteries for certain medical applications and stuff like that. So if you're looking, or you could buy it on Amazon. I'm also going to link it up here. Really good to have. They got rid of a couple things. They used to have a pencil holder, pretty much a holder that you pretty much slip in there and hold it, but it was in the way. Now it's a little bit much smoother. It feels exactly like the iPad pen too. So we're gonna take a look at those two next. So not bad pen, and we're gonna test it out, and you guys let me know what you guys think about it. Put that one on the side. Now this is the iPen, the Apple Pen, and this is the #1 version, and they have multiple tips. They do have 2 tips, but the downfall of this one is the charging station. I mean, if you have a charging, it comes with this little charging area that you can just plug it in and it charges, or you could plug it in directly to your actual iPad, and it'll pick up automatically. It'll tell you how much there's charge in there. When it first came out, it's not bad. I used it for quite a while. Didn't like the feel of it. It's very slippery. I mean, it's just a little bit bulky too. It doesn't feel like a real pencil. It's more plastic than it feels more like a straw, hard straw, you know. I like that you could take the tips off. It's very simple to change the tips. But like I said, the only thing I really like is the charging and the feel of it. It doesn't feel like a pencil or a pen or anything like that. So it's a little heavy too on the inside. There's no battery requirement. It's all charging through itself. You could charge it through an Apple charger, but you would require one of these extensions, and you could charge it directly from a phone, iPhone, or iPad. So it's not bad. I like it. Generation 1 was really good. Now Generation 2 of Apple Pen doesn't require any batteries. It does have a charging area. It magnetizes with the app. It only works with the Pro versions, so it doesn't work for anything older than that generation. But this feels a little lighter, a lot lighter. You can also replace the tips itself. There's nothing to be charged or connected. It does have a magnetic attachment here, and on the new Surface on iPads Pros, where you actually magnetize it, on the bottom it charges. It actually charges the pen. So this is the Pen 2 for the made by Apple. Really good. I've been using this for quite a while right now, since it came out, and it's one of the best things out there so far in the market right now. But we're also going to do tests and take a look at it right now, and let me know what you guys think at the end. Now, this is something that people don't think about, but you can use your cell phones just like everything else. Now, this is a Samsung Galaxy Note 10, and we're also going to be doing a test with the actual pen that's included with it, and we're also going to use the same applications as all the items that we're going to be talking about. So this is another great thing to have, another great option. Those that are looking for testing out versions of pens and stuff like that, this is a really good one. But you guys be the judge for yourselves, and take a look at the test and see what you guys think about it. So this is another thing that a lot of people don't include. Maybe you should start putting your arsenal on the road, so you can start, you know, drawing and painting. It's something that people don't think about these days, but great option, and we're going to take a look at it and see how well it works. All right, one of the best solutions out there for those that don't have or can't afford one of these things, but you have a smartphone. Now, it's not for every phone, but if you have a Galaxy Note 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, whatever you have, 10, the new version, and we're gonna do it on a 10. And so I do have the Galaxy Pen here, and I do have the SketchUp program too also installed in here, and we're also gonna do another test with it. We're gonna see if we could do the actual same test that we had on the last one. So we're gonna use a pen and sequence, and we're going to use it in black, and I have a ruler. Like I said, we're going to run some straight lines in here, see if I can run straight lines, see how well it works, you know. And it's not bad if you guys see it. Really simple. We're going to put one of these things again. We're going to go ahead and put it in here, and see if I can hold it down. And this is very accurate, to be honest with you. The sensor touch, it's really accurate. I like everything that you have in here. Like if I do a circle, it's not that bad, you know. And then I start, we're going to change it to the pencil, to SketchUp, and let's get one of these and start shading it out slowly, and then hard. So that's not bad at all. I mean, it's really accurate. The only bad fall is that it's a small screen. So if you want to start drawing, it's a great way to do it, and it recognizes my fingers if you guys see it. Really good. I like it. Not something I would probably use to draw, but if you want to draw on the road or on the fly, you could just get up and go, you know. And so far I like the alignment. The pen is probably one of the best ones because of the thinness and the sensitivity. But like I said, it's at a smaller scale. That makes me think that maybe we should test out a Samsung tablet maybe next, you know. But the pen, there's a little tiny bit of lag on it when I'm doing this. It's just trying to catch up. So it's something you have to get used to as an artist. If you want to continue using something like this, but it's a great option to have. So for those that are looking for something inexpensive, simple, this is a great solution. We're going to continue with some more info on this, so if you guys like this stuff, let me know. And this is the 12.9 iPad. It's a larger one. We're going to use the first generation of pens. Like it so far. I mean, I used this one for quite a while. It was my go-to. I love the screen size. It has a couple things I didn't like about it first, but I am going to put one of these plastic covers to help the pen out and help me draw a little bit better. This is a go-to, one of the best things I used in the beginning, but now I'm going to introduce you to some more stuff. So we're going to do a test on this iPad 12.9 with the first generation pen, and it's not the Pro version, so it requires this kind of pen, the first generation of pens. And this is probably the biggest surface that you could write on from all the ones that we're going to be testing out. So let's take a look at it. So here we are. We're going to take some measurements. We're going to actually run a straight line and see how well it works with the lines. Right now, if you guys can see it, I'm running the pen, and And it's not picking up right now. There it goes. Not bad. So it's doing some lines, and I am going to use this ruler to make the circles again, and then pretty much in all the tests to make perfect circles. And so far the pen is very accurate. And we're also going to do a sketching up of some of the stuff. We're going to use a pencil, and we're going to start with the lighter one, a shading on it, and we're going to start slow and then do it hard in here. That's pretty much a shading. So far it's a little laggy on this, of course, because it's the first generation. The tip itself is a little too hard. It doesn't bend. So I am going to see if I could do this. And this is just a pen version of it, and we're going to do a marker. Let's get a marker in here. I'm going to change the color to something brighter, and we're going to do one line first. Slow. We're going to start from slow, light to dark. Light to dark. Not very accurate. You guys see it? I'm trying to see if I could get a different. Let me see if I could get a lighter color in there. Light to dark. That's better. And if I overlap it, you can see the darkness. See if I could do some more. I think this is pretty much a spray. This pen is really good if you're going to start drawing for beginning, and it's probably a cheap solution for out there that are looking for those tablets. So let's continue on and talk about some more of the stuff. And now the next test we're going to do is this is going to be on a iPad Pro version with the pen, second generation pen. The thing I like about these two things is that you don't need to charge this one at all. You just have to focus on charging the Pro version. The best thing I like about it is just that you could just attach it to the side and it starts charging automatically. It tells you there. This is one of the best features I like, and so far it's probably one of my favorite ones of sketching. Personally, my favorite one of sketching. And we're going to do some tests so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But this is the Surface. This is the iPad Pro. It's a smaller, of course, a smaller surface area, but the pen combination with the pen 2 and the iPad Pro, it's a great combination. So it's a little expensive out there, out of its way, but it's probably one of the best go-to tools for artists out there. If you guys are going to see the couple of tests I'm going to run into in here, but we're going to do a test, and I'm putting it side by side. So you guys can see some of the stuff. And right now let's do a line. I'm using a marker because it's thicker so you guys can see it. And so far it's pretty thick, so let's go ahead and use a pen now. See if we could thin out the lines and see how well it works. A little bit off on that one. Do a pencil. Let's see how well the pencil works. Seems like it's working. I'm not trying to touch anything but the pen. So that seems like it's working well. I'm gonna see if I could do. Let's do another one. See if I can do the pencil. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do the smaller ones. If you can notice, this actually works a lot better than the Surface, to be honest with you. And I'm very impressed with this thing. I mean, one of the best tests will probably be using the Surface. Using the Surface or using the actual iPad Pro. This is pretty awesome. Let's do another test with the pencil and see if we could sketch up a little bit. And of course, once you put your hand in there, it won't identify it. It reads only the actual pen. So I like that. I really like that. So let's go ahead and see if we can sketch up a little bit and do a little by little. And so far, this is probably the best, one of the best ones of all. You guys can see it. I mean, I am overall. This is probably the best. This is the best one. Now, this is a Dell version of the. It's like a Surface, almost similar to a Surface. This is a Dell version of it. I'm gonna put the description in what it is, and we're gonna use the IOGEAR pen with it, just to do a couple of tests with it. It does have a Windows 10 Pro version in here, and we're also going to use the same application, the SketchUp, for every single item that we have in here included. This is the pen that we're going to use, and it has this magnet that you could actually attach in here. The system itself is really good. I like the system. So we're going to continue with the test, and of course I'm using the Dell tablet right now. It's a little larger, a little larger than the Surface, but I'm using a IOGEAR pen, and we're going to do straight lines first. So I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to do a straight line in here, and we're going to use the pen to begin with, the black. So I'm going to go straight down and see if I can make straight lines. And this is actually looking pretty good. And then we're gonna I'm gonna try to hold it in the middle or somewhere in the edge so I can make some circles. It's a little bit off because of it's a little slippery. I can't get those little ones in here because the pen tip is a little large. So if you guys could see some of the stuff, and I'm going to try to see if I can make one myself in here. It's a little bit off, if you guys notice. There's a little lag and it didn't complete in some of the stuff, so let me see if I could do another one. Yeah, I can tell that there's a lag and it does a wobbly lines. Let's do a brush, and then do a brush sideways. Calligraphy pen. Let's do a calligraphy pen. It's a little bit off on this one, so let's do new, no, and we're going to continue with a circle. We're going to do a circle, and the thing is, I can't curve this one to the side. It has to go straight up. That's going to be a problem right there. See, I can't even complete it. So let me see if I could sketch it slowly. And this is a pencil. I'm doing a pencil. There's no sensitivity on this one. There is no sensitivity. So this is not going to be a good option, to be honest with you. This is pretty good to write maybe, but for artists, it's not going to be good. It does a straight line if your tip is just above it, just straight. It's like a 90-degree angle towards the base. That's the only way you're going to probably be drawing. So you need to be drawing a different format. You guys, I can't even draw on this one. Look at that. I can't even curve it. I try to curve it. This is the Surface 7, and it's the latest one from the Microsoft family. So we also could attach the keyboard and mouse, and this one is the one that they all copy. It's a really good one, especially with an i7 chip included in here, the 8th generation in here. We're gonna push it to its limit, see what it can do. And of course, we do have a Surface pen that we use. This is another feature. This is one of the pens that it's the newest one that they have. It came out like a year ago, I believe it is. It does have an attachment, that magnet. It does hang in there and stuff like that. And I'm gonna put it on straight so you guys can see just the line. I'm gonna do one line only, if you guys can see it, straight down, and it's a perfect line, almost perfect, you know. So we're gonna do another one just because it's a little slippery. The whole thing's just moved up. It's a little slippery, so try not to tend to go all the way up. And it seems like that was a better line. And I'm using the pen, and just to let you guys know, it's just a pen object, and that seems like a good line. Now we're gonna do multiple circles, and I'm gonna try to see if I can hold this on for quite a while, but it's a little difficult sometimes. So we're gonna start with this circle. And they might be off because the ruler's a little slippery. But I'm going to try my best to see if I could get the pens to do the bubbles. And see which one's better. Because if you try to do this on your own, it's a little hard. I'm going to demonstrate right now a couple circles that I'm doing. And they came out okay. I mean, they're not 100%. And if you guys could see, it does recognize my hand. And I'm going to try to do a circle here. And I'm going to try to do it next. Another one on the top. And the ruler's a little bit off, but it's not that bad. I mean, we're looking at a couple of things. Shading wise, you can use a pencil, and for shading wise, let's do a circle. So it's not the perfect circle if you guys see it, but we're gonna see if we could shade it and come back to it. The way we're gonna do is come back to the darker area here, pretending it's darker. I want to curve it a little bit. Do a cross curve and then shade, and then more shading. And we're gonna go across here. See if we could get that alignment in here. If you guys can see it, I'm just testing it out to see how well it works and if you can overlap things, but seems like it's working very well. The pen is really good. I like the pen. The tips, you could change tips. I actually bought a set of tips, multiple different types of tips. Well, top two, Microsoft Surface, and of course the iPad Pro. But if it comes down to a winner, I choose the iPad Pro over the Surface. Reason was that the pen is very accurate, very easy and to use with, easy to charge. The sketching, the shading is a lot better with this one. It actually outperforms the Surface. My personal opinion, it outperforms the Surfaces. The pen is still not as stiff as like the second generation, as the first generation, I'm sorry. It's a little like you could actually bend some of the stuff, and you could replace the tip too. But the shading part was very impressive. I mean, you start real light, and the very sensitivity is really good. It's pretty accurate compared to all of them. Now, to improve things even better, you could even buy a Surface, a replacement, not a glass replacement, but a cover for it that will help even the pen out by making it a little bit more rougher, because right now as you see it, it's very slippery. It's very slippery, but it does the job. One of the most accurate surfaces I've been working with. There's a price. Like I said, it's pretty pricey. Pro versions are very expensive right now. Maybe in the next generation they're going to be a lot cheaper, this version, but between these two, the Surface is a lot more expensive, because with the Surface you do need to buy the keyboard and mouse, and they don't include the pen. You have to buy the pen too, so you're gonna be spending a lot more money on this stuff than in this stuff. Now the pen is very expensive on the Apple, don't get me wrong. It's almost a similar price as the Surface pen, and feeling why they have a flat surfaces, both of them. This is a lot smaller in size, but it's actually a little bit more thicker than the actual pen too for the Apple. So, but this is a lot lighter than this one. You could feel that it has a battery in here. This one you don't feel it has a battery, but there is a charging area in here. It's all built in within. This one you have to replace the battery at least once a year, maybe, or who knows how long if you continue to use it. It has more features, the pen on this one. There's a button here in the back and a button on the side. Button on the side you can program to be changing colors and other things on if you're using an application or Photoshop. You could erase on certain applications too through the back. This one doesn't have those features, doesn't have any buttons or anything like that. It's just a regular solid piece. But overall, I prefer more of the iPad than the Surface because it's easier to carry around. Charging wise, it lasts longer than the Surface. The pen and the actual iPad Pro lasts a lot longer. So on the road, this will be my go-to tool. For other kind of software, for Photoshop and stuff like that, this will be the go-to. But if you're going to be sketching and drawing, this will be my sketchbook compared to this one. So they both are almost identical. This one has a rubber end that actually flexes. It kind of bounces in. It has some bounce to it. It feels a little bit more like a real pencil, but the action on this one is a lot better. It feels the actions are more realistic here than this one. On this one there was no lag that much. I mean, you can see both of them on the test. There was not that much lag. They were kind of like a little bit off on some of the circles and stuff like that, but that was pretty much because of the surfaces of the actual machines. They're very slippery, very difficult to make a perfect circle. I mean, and they both identify your hand, that it's not being activated. So if I start drawing on this one with it uses a pen. It doesn't feel it deactivates my hand on the other end. They both have the same feature, which I love about them. So if you have in the market for something like this, it's hard to suggest, but I prefer the actual iPad Pro with the actual Pen 2 than the Surface 7 with the actual newest pen that they have, the newest generation. So if you guys like what you guys see, make sure you guys subscribe and hit the like. I'm your host, Prophet 74, out.